Hello dreamers, this is a new video. I am going to go through my lash kit in 2020. My last lash kit video I did was in 2013 and it's been a long time, that's 7 years, since I've shown you what I use now. The other thing is I wanted to go over a kit which had all the things I think you should have in a kit and you would need and would be helpful, and then I wanted to go over a kit with some additional optional things, which are things that you don't necessarily absolutely have to have, but they're nice to have. So if you're doing classic lashes, you are going to need some classic lashes to work with. There's actually now cylindrical and flat lashes to work with, so you can choose your classic lashes like I've got here, which are Stacey Lash lashes. They are actually a cylindrical shape, so you can put them on the top, bottom, sides of lashes. And you also have flat lashes. They are lighter than your classic lashes because they're flattened out, they're squished down, and they have a little notch in the bottom, as you'll see in the picture here, where they just sit on the lash really easily. For the easiest explanation, it's like Lego. The little notch along the lash on the flat lash just clicks or just sits down nicely on the actual natural lash, so therefore the adhesion is a lot better. You can use a combination of flat lashes and classic lashes. It's just really up to you what you prefer. Some people like the thickness and the darkness of the flat lash look, and you can also get them in split tips, so then they look like two lashes on one lash, which is nice. But in the case of having lashes that don't face ways that you want them to face, you then could use your classic lashes, which you can make sit in any direction on the lash. Not to say you can't use the flat lashes on the side of the lash, I have in the past. So the ones I have here are designer lashes, and they are her flat lash range. They come in 0.10, they come in 0.15, 0.20 I think as well. I tend to stick around the 0.15 size. Stacey Lash has a range of classic lashes as well. So Stacey Lash lashes are available on Amazon and also their website, so you can access them there. You need some really good performing tweezers as well. Back in 2013, I used to isolate with only very straight tweezers. What I've learned now is that I really prefer an angled tweezer for my isolation. It's just because it bends down and it spreads out really nicely, creates a really good space between the lashes so that I can get in with my other tweezer, get in and get that lash on the natural lash. If somebody has really sparse lashes, the straight isolation tweezer is fine because you're just really kind of moving lashes to one side. You're not finding you need to get both sides isolated because they're so sparse. When it's really foresty, thick lashes, I need something that's going to move everything out of my way so I can work and get those natural lashes isolated and get the extension in there. I was sent a beautiful pair from London Lash. They are very, very narrow and they are very long, and I've actually found the longer type of isolation tweezers are really good for the inner and outer corner. I find that they're not in my way quite as much as the angled. So you need a variety of tweezers. What I'm showing you here is just two different types of tweezers. One is angled, it's similar to the Italy that I like from Designer Lashes, and one is called The One. It's just the name of it, and it's really nice for Russian volume as well, but you can use it just for picking up as well. I found the boot type of tweezer is actually easier to pick up the flat lashes with than other types of tweezers. I don't know why, it just is. It's probably because I do 2D flat lashes, which I'll show you in a little bit here. It's just grips the two of them a bit easier. I do have to change my wrist angle for boot opposed to other types of tweezers. It's just really up to you. You will need a lash adhesive. I do often refer to adhesives as glue. The correct technical term for glue is adhesive. I'm going to show you one of Stacey Lash's glues. They have extra strong evolution. They actually have a wide range of lash glues. There's clear, there's sensitive, there's strong, there's extra strong, there's volume, there's lots of different ones. I've used the blue label one a lot, which is the one that I'm showing you here, and I've always found that has given great retention. I'm not saying the other ones don't, but I haven't used them quite as much to give you an opinion on that. There are several different types of glues you can use. Glues have different setting times, so you might have glues that set within 1 second, 2 seconds, 0.5 of a second, 2 seconds, just depending on your experience and how fast you can dip a lash, then get it on the natural lash. That's how you choose the lash glue you want to use. The other lash glue, which is high up on my absolutely love it list, is Lash Lash Holy Grail. You can get that from Designer Lashes also. A very good glue, used it right to the bottom of the bottle, never had any problems. When you're using glue, you're going to need something to wipe off the nozzle and burp the bottle. You can't use anything cotton, it's going to react to it. If you aren't sure what I'm talking about there with the reaction with cotton and glue, I have made a video in the past on that. I'll link it. You need to have something like nail wipes. If you've ever seen them, they're like these. They're square, they have little dots in them. There's no exposed cotton, so you get no smoky fumes coming off. So after dispensing your glue, you have some glue that will be around the tip of the nozzle, and you have some in the nozzle right up in the middle of where the hole is. So you're actually needing to squeeze the bottle, hold the bottle upright and squeeze it and burp it. Using these wipes, you just wipe it off. So you're making sure A, that the air is out, and B, that you're wiping the nozzle and it's clean, so that when you put your pin in or your lid, it's not sticking to it. And I can tell you, I've had many of occasion where my lid has stuck to the bottle and I've had to unscrew it, and I've tried really hard. And one time I tried really hard to unscrew the lid and it came flinging off and the glue went everywhere. So make sure that you are looking after and keeping clean the top of your glue. You're going to need something to hold your glue in or on. For myself, I use a glue ring. I've always liked using a glue ring. I've never worked off a tile off of the side of the head of the person. I've always had my lashes on my hand and my glue ring on my finger, so that I pick up the lash, dip it in, put it on. You don't have to have a glue ring. You could use a glue tile, you could use a jade stone, you can use a crystal. I have a whole nother video on platforms for glue, so you can check that out if you like. You are going to need a mask. You absolutely need to wear a mask. You cannot breathe in the fumes from the glues. There's cyanacrylate in there, there's other ingredients in there that are not good for you to breathe in. You need to be protecting your lungs. So the glue is under your nose, so to speak, not so much your clients but yours, so make sure you're wearing a mask. You can order just a paper mask if that's all you feel you need. I personally wear a Vogue mask. I wear it because I can wash it. I wear it because I feel like it just gives me a little bit better protection. If you're putting lashes on, you need a way to get them off. If somebody comes back, has an allergic reaction, or they just want them off because they're tired of them, or you for some reason have an issue whilst you're lashing, you need a lash remover. Stacey Lash sells a lash remover. You can also order that online. You need under eye pads to protect the client's under eye area. I prefer a thinner type of eye pad. I prefer them thin because then they're not thick and lifting up the lashes too much or touching the lashes. If they're touching the lashes, then they sit on the pad and then the lashes stick to the pad, so we don't want that. I quite like Stacey Lash under eye pads. They're really nice, they're a good shape, you get so many and they last so long. They're a very premium quality type of under eye pad, so I do recommend those. Of course you can get other types of under eye pads and they can come in different shapes and sizes. You're also going to need some tape. You can use paper tape. You can use this to stretch out the eyelid to get to lashes. You can use it to lift the eyelid. You can use it to help tuck away the bottom lashes. If the under eye patch hasn't managed to get them all away, you could do that. I keep mine on a tape dispenser. I prefer it on a tape dispenser because then I don't need the scissors and I can just rip off what I need. There is another type of tape. It's optional, but it is really nice and I think I prefer it rather than using paper tape on the eyelid. It's called Nietzsche tape and it actually has perforated dots within it, so you can just rip off the amount you need. This type of tape is brilliant for stretching the eye out so that you can get the lashes separated, get to the inners, get to the outers, tape back a hooded eye. It's brilliant, love it. I recommend you do have that one. Some people I think use something called green tape. I haven't used that myself, but you could look it up. You're going to need scissors. Sometimes you need to cut tape. Sometimes you need to cut the under eye pad. You're going to need something to prep the lashes with. I don't use any primers. I know a lot of people do, but I use shampoo. I don't use a primer because it dries out the lashes. It doesn't really create the best condition the lashes should be at for the glue to work well. We really don't want oil. I've had oily lashes in the past, and it's like magnets when they're turned opposite ways and they repel against each other and the lash just won't go on. So I use shampoo and a brush, and I brush that through, or a silicone brush is good as well. You've already got them, so you don't need to buy an extra brush if you don't want. Pump on the foam and I brush it through, cleanse all the lashes, and then I rinse it out with water. With the water, you just need to have a little bottle. I have a long nose bottle that I got from Amazon. I really like it. Lately I've been using an airbrush machine. It's not absolutely 100% needed in your basic kit, although I love it. So what I use now is a pH balancer. It's the pH balancer called Unicorn Tears by Lox Lash. After a lot of research, Lox Lash figured out what is the best condition for a glue to stick to the natural lash. And they've figured it out, and they've produced a product that creates the perfect pH balance on the natural lash to provide the best possible conditions so that the glue will adhere to the natural lash, along with the right humidity and temperature, because there's still that you have to consider. You use it like you would a primer after cleansing the area, and it makes a huge difference. I use this every time on my clients. Just spend that extra minute popping that on. Some products like London Lash open the hair follicle to help create even better bonding along the lash with the glue. If you're washing the lashes before you start, or priming, or using pH balancer, whatever it is that you're doing, you need to have some applicators. There are micro applicators, and they absorb up the product within them, and then there's those lip gloss applicators, these ones here. You don't want to use a product like a cotton tip or a cotton bud, because you're going to drip your product onto that and it's going to be gone. It won't even make it onto the lashes because it's all just gone into the bud. So something like micro brushes or lip gloss applicators, something like that, brilliant. You can get different types and forms. I use the lip gloss applicators a lot. That's my go-to. It's great. You're also going to need mascara brushes. You have a choice of normal types of plastic spoolies, and you also have silicone spoolies. They're my favorite. I don't really use the type of plasticky bristle brushes anymore. I use silicone. The reason I use silicone is because it doesn't really pull out the lashes when you're brushing them. I just find they're really gentle and they're really nice for Russian. They're really nice for classic as well. Nanomisting can help cure the glue. If you're using a teeny bit of glue, within 5 minutes normally the glue is cured. But if you want to nanomist right across just to make sure it's all set, you can use a fan to help dry them off as well. Sometimes I use the fan actually after washing the lashes just to help dry them. If you prefer, wait 5 minutes till you've completed the last lash. As long as you're using minimal glue, you could then wash or shampoo the lashes. That's another thing Brand Lashes taught me, is if you are worried about the vapors that settle on the skin from the glue, you can always shampoo 5 minutes after finishing. And if you've used minimal glue, you won't get blooming, which is the glue turning a white or grey colour. That's the reaction with water and glue. That is something you don't have to do. A Nanomister will probably do the job and you're fine. It's just another option that some lash techs follow. You will also need a way to sanitize or sterilize your tools. I haven't mentioned them in this video, as qualified beauticians, beauty therapists and lash techs should already know and be equipped with sterilizing and sanitizing products. There are other videos on my channel which address sanitizing and sterilizing. So that is your basic kit. There's things you could add to your kit that can make your life lashing a whole lot easier. Are they necessary? No. Are they nice? Yes. I have another video that goes over the optional and additional lashing items. None of these are absolutely necessary to be able to lash, but many items I mention make your life lashing so much easier. A link to this video will be included in the video description below.